In the wild, danger can appear in a split second. Among the most feared snakes on Earth is the king cobra, fast, precise, and armed with powerful venom. With a raised hood and razor-sharp instincts, it dominates the jungle floor. But not every encounter goes according to plan. Now witness some of the deadliest king cobra encounters ever captured on camera. In a corner of the dense forest, a king cobra and another cobra suddenly come face to face on the forest floor. Both keep their distance for a few seconds, their eyes scanning each other as if measuring the opponent's strength. Compared to its rival, the smaller cobra seems almost dwarfed by the long body of the king cobra. When the smaller snake tries to retreat, the king cobra quickly follows and grips its back, forcing the opponent to struggle in resistance. The cobra attempts defensive bites, but its smaller jaws make it difficult to pierce the thick skin of its rival. King cobras specialize in hunting other snakes and can grow over 13–15 feet long, giving them a clear advantage in confrontations with smaller species. Once the king cobra secures the neck of its opponent, the struggle gradually ends and it begins swallowing the prey from the head. The moment shows that in nature, experience and size often determine the outcome of survival encounters. Not far from that forest, another king cobra spots a small snake trying to squeeze into a narrow rock crevice for shelter. The smaller snake clings tightly to the rock surface, hoping the tight space might protect it from the predator. But the king cobra patiently holds on to the snake's body and begins slowly pulling the prey out of the gap. The struggle continues for several minutes as the smaller snake uses all its strength to grip the rock wall. The king cobra's flexible jaws and backward curving teeth allow it to maintain a firm hold and pull prey from tight spaces. As the smaller snake gradually loses strength, it can no longer maintain its grip. Eventually, it is dragged out of the crevice and becomes the next meal of the snake hunter. The situation reminds us of a familiar lesson in nature. A hiding place is only safe when the predator lacks patience. A cobra quickly crawls deep into a thick, thorny bush, hoping the dense branches will help it escape the snake hunter following close behind. However, the king cobra can track prey through chemical scent using its highly sensitive Jacobson's organ, allowing it to detect traces even in dense vegetation. Within moments, the king cobra seizes the head of its opponent and quickly takes control of the entire situation. Even while its body is nearly hanging upside down among the thorny branches, the king cobra calmly adjusts its jaws and begins swallowing the prey. This flexible hunting ability explains why the king cobra is considered one of the most efficient snake predators in the wild. At a farmer's livestock shed, a king cobra and a rat snake suddenly encounter each other in a rare situation. The rat snake is trapped with its lower body stuck in a narrow door gap and struggles desperately to escape. The king cobra approaches, but keeps a cautious distance, observing the prey trying to free itself. Realizing the danger, the rat snake turns around and opens its mouth in a threatening display to maintain distance. During the first few seconds, the king cobra appears cautious of the sudden defensive reactions. But as the rat snake gradually loses strength, the king cobra pulls it out of the gap and begins to take full control of the situation. Rat snakes are known for their fast reflexes and strong climbing ability, but when trapped in tight spaces, they struggle to maintain their advantage. The encounter ends when the king cobra secures the body of its opponent, closing a rare hunting opportunity within the quiet farmyard. From a high tree trunk, a cobra slowly slithers down to the ground in search of prey. But the moment it touches the ground, it suddenly faces a far more dangerous snake hunter, the king cobra. The cobra instantly raises the front of its body and spreads its hood in warning, and the king cobra responds with a similar posture. The two predators face each other for several tense seconds, their eyes carefully evaluating the opponent. Then, in a sudden moment, the king cobra lunges forward and seizes the head of the cobra. The smaller snake tries to wrap its body around nearby bushes to pull itself away from the jaws of its rival, but the strength difference is too great. The king cobra's powerful neck muscles allow it to hold the prey's head firmly and prevent it from turning back to retaliate. Before long, the struggle ends, and the cobra becomes the meal of the giant snake hunter. In another corner of the forest, a young king cobra is already displaying the snake hunting instincts of its species. Its target is a much smaller banded file snake moving slowly across the ground when it is suddenly seized. The banded file snake struggles desperately to escape, but the difference in strength between the two is too great. Even before reaching full maturity, king cobras possess extremely fast attack reflexes, an important trait for a snake that hunts other snakes. Within a short time, the prey is completely controlled. The king cobra then begins swallowing it headfirst as a natural instinct. This small hunt becomes one of the earliest lessons for a future snake hunter. A rat snake hurriedly moves through a residential area, trying to escape, but within seconds, a king cobra lunges forward and seizes the neck of its opponent, locking onto a critical point. With this vulnerable position controlled, the rat snake can barely turn its head to respond. The king cobra calmly adjusts its jaws slowly, shifting closer toward the head of its prey. The jaws of a king cobra are highly flexible, allowing it to swallow prey nearly as long as its own body. Once the head is fully secured, the chase quickly comes to an end. The moment highlights how precision and patience remain the greatest advantages of this snake-hunting predator in the wild. In a humid forest clearing, a king cobra lunges forward and grabs the head of a python. The python immediately reacts by wrapping its powerful body around the head of the king cobra. The two strong reptiles lock together in a tense struggle. The python tightens its coils, while the king cobra tries to maintain its grip on the opponent's head. Pythons are known for their incredibly strong muscles that allow them to squeeze prey with immense pressure. For a long moment, both remain almost motionless in the stalemate. The confrontation reveals that in nature, equal strength can sometimes lead to unpredictable outcomes. A rat snake moves across a small stream while continuing its search for prey within the forest. It focuses entirely on the scent of a nearby mouse and fails to notice the danger approaching. From above, a king cobra has been watching every movement of the rat snake. As the rat snake prepares to approach its own prey, the king cobra suddenly appears and raises the front of its body. The mouse quickly escapes, leaving the rat snake alone to face the giant snake hunter. The king cobra uses both vision and scent to track its prey through the dense forest environment. With one swift strike, it takes control of the rat snake. The hunt ends quickly, just like many others carried out by this predator. Nature constantly reminds us that survival in the wild is never certain. Even one of the most formidable snakes can face moments where instinct, timing, and awareness decide the outcome. Join us again as we continue exploring more incredible wildlife encounters captured from the untamed world.